I just I just want to make a video today because I've been experiencing a lot of negative emotions lately, and I want to record that just to kind of get a full picture of this journey that I'm on right now. I've been kind of in a state recently where I've just been missing the life that I had a few months ago. I don't really know what to do with that. I don't really know why that is. Usually when I start experiencing things for a period of time like this, and I feel something in my gut, I follow that. I always try to listen to that intuition, and she usually served me pretty well. But in this situation, I really don't know what to do with these feelings. I've been really, I guess, experiencing a lot of nostalgia for just for a lot of memories I had with my ex. I just went and saw a movie with a friend and his wife, and it was at an old theater that I used to go to with my ex. And some of the best memories I've had in the last couple years were going there with her. And kind of following the theme of how I've been feeling for the last week or so, I just had so many situations recently that have kind of spurred these feelings and spurred these memories. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is. I've had recurring dreams and just these feelings that just the sadness and feeling like, what if things were different? I felt mostly anger when things first kind of ended. I felt a lot of anger because it was so abrupt and it was so calculated. It was already planned out, and she kind of waited for me to get back from a trip and waited for me to be the last piece of the puzzle that she kind of created. And having everything set in motion well in advance, all the while I was trying to talk to her and figure out what was going on, because I could tell something was off, and she would just tell me everything was fine, only to kind of put the last piece in place in a time where it really, really destroyed my life. There's no other way to put that. It really just legitimately destroyed my life. Destroyed everything that we had built together. Destroyed everything that I had at the time, and kind of left me with nothing. And I can't speak to what her intentions are or were. But things could have been done in a different way, where it didn't have or didn't burn so much. It absolutely could have been done in a much more it's a breakup, so it's gonna suck, but it's pretty much done in the worst possible way. Unnecessarily. And because of that, I have just been left with this anger that this person that I loved so much and cared for so deeply, and this person that I would have died for, that I would have given anything for, that I was giving everything for. Whether or not she saw that at the time or will ever see that, I gave up everything. I gave up everything for her. Everything that I had. I put everything that I had into that relationship. And that led to me just feeling so angry afterwards, and not feeling regret. There's a normal amount of sadness that's gonna happen when you have a breakup, but I just felt this tension, and it also didn't help that because it kind of threw my life upside down. I was having to deal with so many other things and figuring out my living situation, getting a new job. There's so many things that I had to deal with immediately, like the next day following the breakup. And so I never really had time to actually process things, because I immediately had to get moving and start doing something, start doing everything. I had to do so much. And right now in the situation I'm in, I'm kind of alone. I don't really have anybody around me. It's not to say I don't have friends, but like right now in this moment, living in my car, I don't have anybody around me. My family's not here. I could go drive and see them, but they're not with me right now. My friends aren't with me right now. And the sense that I'm alone is really kicking in. It's really hitting. And I miss being in a relationship. As much as I have going on right now, as many opportunities as there are that I have, and as grateful as I am for that, I miss being in a relationship. all I ever wanted 4 years ago when I met her, almost 5 now, was to have a long-term relationship, to have somebody to share everything with, to have somebody to travel with and experience life with, and to have kids with them and be a father and pass down all of the knowledge and experience that I've gained, and just try to raise up my children as best as I can. And I was so motivated by that. And I wanted that so badly. And I'm not saying that this isn't the best route. You know, who knows? You can only see what you can see. I'm not saying that better things won't come of this, because what do I know? But I can just say, in the current moment, what I'm feeling is that I miss that. I miss having that. I miss having her. And as excited as I am to be starting a business and to be, you know, actually experiencing success with that, the only reason I did that, the only reason I started that in the first place was for her. That's the only reason I started doing that. And I'm trying now to kind of separate what are the things that I'm doing now that feel like things I should be doing, but were really just things I did because I wanted a better future with her. And what are the things that I actually want to do for myself? You know, you have to be okay being by yourself to some extent. But also, what is life if you can't share it with someone? And having had that for several years, and then having lost that, I can't help but feel a big void in my life. And it's kind of all I can think about. And I have friends. I have groups of people. I have people I can go to. I have family. But I want to experience life with somebody else. I want that again. Legitimately. And I don't feel inadequate. I don't feel like I need somebody else to complete me. I don't feel like I'm missing a part of myself. I feel really happy with who I am. I feel really proud of myself. I feel really confident in myself and the life that I've built and the kind of person that I have worked so hard on being. But when I have moments like this, I realize that I want to be with somebody else. It's not just myself. I want that, legitimately. I can go and do something right now. I could go and work on my business. I could go and practice piano. I could go and draw. I could go do all the things I love doing. But at the end of the day, I want to do it with somebody. I wanted to do that with somebody else. And I miss being able to do that. And even though my breakup was 4 months ago, it feels like it's been longer since I've gotten to experience that. Because especially towards the end of the relationship, there wasn't that experience. It felt like it was more two people coexisting. It felt like interest had completely waned. Felt coming home after work, it felt like I was a ghost. Like I was just kind of in a piece of furniture, and I didn't experience that meaningful interaction that we used to have. And I really miss that. I crave getting to experience that again. There's very few things in life that are better than that. Getting to find somebody who you are attracted to, somebody that you feel comfortable with, somebody who excites you, somebody you can relate to, somebody you respect, somebody who you genuinely love, and who is interested in you enough to be interested in the things that you're interested in. That is a blessing to have that. And I experienced that a few years ago, and it was amazing. And I don't know if I've experienced that for, maybe it's been a year since I felt that. And going to the movie today, at the same theater that we used to go to, and feeling that empty seat next to me. I really wanted her to be there. And, I'm not saying this won't be for the best if I'm looking back 5 years down the road. But I just want to be honest with how I'm feeling right now. As I sit here today, I miss having that, and I want that in my life again. And no business, no amount of financial success, no sales skill, none of that comes anywhere close to replacing that feeling of being with someone like that. None of it comes close. And I want to continue to work on the business. I want to continue to do the things I'm doing. So I know there's so much value in that. But I don't know how to reconcile with the feeling that I don't know. Feels like my soul wants something else right now. And I don't know why these feelings are coming back up. I don't know why I'm having these dreams. I don't know. I just know that it's happening. And I'm going to continue to pay attention to it. I'm going to continue to move forward and keep doing the things that I'm doing until I have something better. But I'm going to pay attention to this and try to figure out what it is that I need to do. I just know that if I were to experience the utmost success in all the things that I'm doing right now, if I were to do it alone, I would feel completely empty at the end of it. It would feel completely meaningless, and I would not be happy. And I know that if I was just with somebody, just to be with them, and I wasn't doing any of the things that I'm doing now, I might feel better, but if I'm looking years down the road, I would have regrets. So, what do I do? I keep telling myself that I'm in a better spot now because I have all the time to work a job and build a business at the same time. And maybe that's true. And I tell myself that I wouldn't be able to do that if I was in a relationship, because it does take so much time and energy. And maybe that's true. But right now, how I'm feeling is that I want both. I want to experience both things. And I'm only 23. I know I'm not super old. But I can't help but still feel that clock ticking in my head. You know, it's so easy to meet people when you're in high school. And there's so many things that period of life gives you. And there's so many things I feel like I personally missed out on. And there's so many things I miss from being that age. And as I am getting older, I can feel things slipping faster and faster. And, you know, I'm only 23, so I still have a lot of life ahead of me. But I know that clock does tick faster and faster, and having that knowledge in my head that time is just gonna slip away at a quicker pace, it makes me feel a little bit scared. And it makes me think about wanting to experience things now, today, tomorrow, this week. The things that, like, if I stop today, right now, if I turn everything off and I sit by myself in silence and I really think, what experience today can I have that would make me feel the most alive, that would make me feel the most content and the most fulfilled? What experience would I need to have that would just make my heart feel so full? And why would I not do everything I can to get that if I don't have that right now? Because I'm not going to get any younger. Things aren't going to get any easier. So why prolong that for something else that I tell myself on paper is going to be better for the future, but in the process I'm sacrificing years that I'll never get back, ever. And when I'm older, I will look back and say, just like I say now with my high school years, I'll look back and say, that was some of the best years of my entire life that I had. I will never be able to get that youth back. I'll never be able to be that age again. I'll never be able to go into those situations I could go into when I was 23. I don't want to ever have to say that. I don't want to ever be older and look back and have regret like that. So I'm struggling right now with what balance do I find between building a future versus going all in towards what I actually fundamentally desire. What I know and what I can feel that I want in life. And are both really possible at the same time. I don't know. I don't know if they are. I don't know if they aren't. I just know what I feel today. And I feel like if I were to die next week, what would I do this week over the next 7 days to get the most out of the final moments that I have? And right now, I do not feel like I'm doing that. I don't know what that means for the future. I don't know. I don't know what that means as far as, do I need to change what I'm doing? I have no idea. I just know that how I feel is that I am not living my life to the fullest. Even though on paper I am doing very well. I want to go out and travel. I want to go and explore. I want to go and meet people. I want to go without a plan. I want to go and meet a girl and fall in love again and experience that excitement again and start a love over from the beginning again and have that whole thing. I want that again. I miss that. I genuinely miss that, and I would die for that. And I don't know exactly what went wrong last time. I know things I could have done different, but I don't know exactly what it was. And I never got proper closure We never had a good conversation. She never explained things to me. She never opened up to me or was honest about anything. And it just ended. 4 years just ended. And I don't know exactly what caused it. And that leaves me with a difficult problem in that how do I prevent that from happening next time? How do I not do that again? Because I could go on all day about what she did wrong and what was unfair and whatever. But ultimately, I have responsibility too. Because I was half of the relationship. And whatever way you look at it, I'm 50% of the problem. Sometimes, if you're doing everything right in a relationship, the best thing is to end it. The best thing is for you to end things. But I can't help but feel that how things happened, the way they happened, just in everything, I was some part of the problem as well. And with it having ended so abruptly, with such little communication and basically zero closure, I don't know exactly what it was that I did. And it makes me hesitant to want to go out and start something else when I don't know what that was. So I'm left in this this tricky situation where I want this thing so badly, and I don't feel like the last thing was fully ended. I don't, because there wasn't any closure. There was no, the season 2 just got canceled, and season 1 left off on a cliffhanger. And you were looking forward to season 2. There were so many things that were going to be explained and so many things that were going to pay off, and the studio just canceled it. That's how I feel. And even though you know that the studio ran out of money, it was poorly managed, there never could have been a season 2. There weren't the resources to make it. None of that makes you feel any better that you didn't get the send-off that you wanted. None of that answers any of the questions you had about the story. And you just feel kind of lost and empty. And I don't know what the answer is here. I'm a firm believer in no contact. I was planning on going full no contact when she cut things off the way that she did, because I also knew some of the details. I knew a little bit about this situation, and so I felt very strongly that I was just going to write her a letter, pack up all my things, and be gone, and not have to see her again, because I didn't feel that she deserved to have a conversation with me, especially when she wasn't honest or forthcoming about anything. And I didn't want to sit there and listen to her talk in circles about whatever reason she was going to give without actually telling me what happened. I didn't feel at the time that I deserved that. I don't feel today, right now, that I would have deserved that. And yeah, that's how I was going to do it. Unfortunately, I had to cross paths with her face to face, and it kind of felt like it threw a wrench in things because I didn't leave things off as a clean cut how I wanted to leave them off, but I also didn't get the closure, and I didn't get the conversation at the end, and it just left me in a really weird mental state afterwards. And we texted a week after, and I felt like I got closure in the way she was talking to me. She still wasn't forthcoming about anything, was super vague about, just wouldn't give any details about anything. It was just super, super ambiguous. But I felt in the tone that she was using and the words that she was using, I felt fully confident that this would never work out. She said some things to me that were so cold and so calculated and so just a shift in who she was as a person that I fully understood in that final text conversation that I could not be with this person anymore. And so that was kind of closure, I guess. And I felt like it was closure for a while. But now that 4 months have passed, I am kind of revisiting that I don't really feel like I ever got closure. And so because of that, I don't know what part of the problem I was. I don't know exactly what I did. I don't know. As much as I know some things about the situations, I still don't know exactly where her mind was or what her intentions were or exactly what she did and with who and for how long. And that just makes it so difficult for me to move forward in this current state. And yeah, reaching out I don't think is the answer. Trying to reopen that wound I don't think is a good thing. I don't think she would be honest even now. It wouldn't be good for me to reach out, and I wouldn't get the closure I would want anyways. So now what do I do? I don't know. And as much as I've focused on other things and truly been very productive, started this whole new life for myself, started a new career, done very well with it, started a business and done well with that, formed so many new friendships, formed so many new connections, I still feel empty. I still don't feel happy. I still feel a pit in my stomach. And I still have dreams, and I still have these emotions come up and these memories, and ignoring it doesn't work. Focusing on something else and trying to be productive doesn't work. Nothing seems to work. And I don't know what the next move is. I can say on paper what it is that I want in life. But for some reason, I don't feel like I am doing what I'm supposed to do to move towards that right now. And this doesn't really feel like a feeling that'll pass. It feels much more like something that's been underneath the surface, just waiting to poke its head out. And now that I'm pausing long enough to focus on it and acknowledge it and talk about it, I'm able to fully see that it is something that I need to address. I just don't know how to address it yet. But that's where I'm at. There's not really there's not really anything else. Yeah. I want this channel to be helpful to you. I want you to be able to watch these videos and just see a raw example of somebody going through difficulties, having a journey that they are on, and succeeding on that journey in spite of whatever happens. And I want you to be able to see what that looks like all the way through. And as much as I try in my life to give good advice to people and to try and help people through similar situations to what I'm going through right now, and as much as I aspire to be a leader for others, I don't always have the answers. Oftentimes I don't. I can only speak on what I've been through. And there's days like this where I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what the answer is to my current problems. I just know that they're there, and I can't keep ignoring them. And I want people to see that, so that whenever they experience the same thing, they know it's normal. It's not just them. And that when you see me years from now in whatever place that I'm in, you will see that I did that in spite of these things that I'm currently going through. But that's all I really have to say. I was hoping I would feel better after talking about this, but I really don't, if I'm being honest. I really don't feel better at all. I know I'm gonna have better days in the future. I'm not gonna do anything crazy to myself. I'm not gonna give up hope. That's not me. Not anymore. So I know I'm gonna move past this. I just know that I'm going through this right now. And I don't know how long it's gonna last. And yeah. That's it.